In this episode, we haul out to reveal why we totally lost propulsion when entering the marina a couple of months ago. Watch to see what we find and how we resolve it.
Bags are packed, are you ready to go?
This is Cordelia, our Venus Ketch. This is Steve.
This time tomorrow we'll be on the road.
I'm Annette, and this is the cutest member of our crew, Gus.
With you in the sunny
Our dream was 10 years in the planning. In the end, you only ever regret the chances you didn't take.
any other way.
In typical Sicilian fashion, having tried 3 times before to get lifted out, we were woken up by the marineros phoning us to say that they were at the bow of the boat, slipping the lines. We'd had a very late night the night before because we'd only just returned from our trip to get the water maker from northern Italy. Neither of us were properly dressed, and most importantly, neither of us had had our morning cup of tea. Nevertheless, before we know it, we're being pulled round to the marina yard. So this is the tow ram we're getting, so as we can have a look at our prop issue.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is
For Steve, this is a nightmare situation. In his previous life, it was him who would be lifting Cordelia, because that was his job. Watching while someone else is responsible for your life in your home is bad enough, but for Steve, it was 100 times worse.
How are you going to get off?
In the UK, we wouldn't even be allowed on the boat at this point. Not until the boat is securely blocked off would we be given permission to go back on board. So still being here whilst the boat is lifted in the slings is mind-boggling to us.
Searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down.
See what I mean about not being easy with a diver?
Yeah.
Right, he's going to jet it now. See the rope cutter? You can't see the rope cutter.
No. You're going to have to be careful that when they jet wash, that if the rope cutter's a bit loose, that we don't lose any parts. Okay, sorry.
There's definitely worm on it, but not too many.
It's just slime, isn't it?
But it's, yeah, you get starting to get worm growth.
Yeah, but that's without you touching it for 7 months.
But that's just a finger.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been out of the water in 3 years.
We can't say enough good things about Coppercoat. Ours has been on for over 10 years, and it's only now that we can see a couple of blisters that we'll deal with when we haul out again later this summer. We've saved a fortune in lift outs and anti-foul over the years, and we would recommend Coppercoat again and again and again, as long as it's applied correctly.
See how that's loose?
Yeah. But is that just because of the key?
No, that should be tight on there.
Is it ground?
Yeah, this key's broken off in there, but it is galvanic corrosion.
Right, so what's happened?
The oh, right on my face. Sorry, is that my nose? I think it's galvanic corrosion which has caused the bronze keyway, which is the less noble of the metals in the boat, to fizz away, to have a problem and not be happy. You can see where it's sheared.
Yeah. Wow.
At least that shaft's good. But see where it's gone, very pinky.
Yeah.
Just breaking up.
Wow. Do that again.
Can't get it out. Can't get any more out. So the new one, it's basically got to be cut to length.
Yeah.
And then shaped to go in. So you've got to cut it to length, shape the ends.
So why would that have done that? Is this got something to do with the fact that our anodes are...
Yeah.
So we have to find the reason why the anodes aren't... or find the reason why the anodes are so good?
That prop is not very good at all.
The prop isn't?
No. No.
Got our name in it?
It says Steve Moore on. So when the nuts go on, it will tighten it up against the taper. I've still got a gap there.
Yeah.
So I know it's fully up and it's not rocking.
They're not going to use our bronze key. No.
It's not bronze, it's EN whatever. It was recommended by Bell, but
yeah.
They think it's bronze. They would prefer to put stainless in there. Stainless is fine, but stainless becomes less of a sacrificial thing. To shear a stainless key, basically what would happen is that the prop would die first.
Yeah.
The reason for the key that we use...
Oh, it's a crab there.
The reason for the key that we use is this goes first, so it's sacrificial to the thing. But anyway, what they've got to do is measure the depth of the keyway in there, the depth of the keyway in there, and make the key the same height, so that when the key goes in there and the prop goes on, the prop doesn't become key bound. The prop actually is got a close fit or got an interference fit to the shaft. The key is just, so it's not just in there, but it's like, so what you have to do is you have to put the prop on first without a key, see how far it comes up and mark it, so that when you then put the key in and put that on, you know that it's come up to the right distance.
Okay. We'd purchased a CZ121 brass key back in the UK, but the yard refused to put that in, saying that they'd use a stainless steel one and they thought that that was better. We know it's not, as it's now the stronger of the metals and means that if we hit anything, the prop will take most of the force. At this point, we just want to be back in the water and have the ability to leave the marina under our own steam. She's far forward enough.
So we quickly realised that the problem with the propeller keyway shearing was nothing to do with us hitting anything. It was actually galvanic corrosion. So the key had actually, I think the term is, it's lost its zinc kind of bit, so it goes from brass to just being like copper, and it's too soft, and anyway, you'll see from the pictures that it gave up. You can also see from the film that our anodes were in really good condition, which they shouldn't have been in really good condition because they've been on the boat for nearly 3 years. So yeah, it's the first haul out in 3 years. Don't really understand the bonding system, and trying to find out information online and trying to look at Nigel Calder's book, it's like I didn't find it very clear. So what I've done is I've rewired. I did find some issues. We didn't have a jumper lead across our coupling on the back of the engine, so you'll see from the bit of footage that I've put a new coupling on there, a new jumper lead across the coupling, because the coupling's got a rubber bit in it, and I basically just rewired everything and cleaned all the connections, and then made it in like a loop. We're coming out in 3 or 4 months time, in El Miramar hopefully, and then I'll be able to redo the key. The key that they put in over at the boatyard wasn't 100% happy with the way that they'd done it, but it's good enough, and we weren't allowed to work on our own boat, so I had to kind of sort of put up with what they did, and we just needed a quick job. I just wanted it done back in the water, good enough to get us going and last us 3 or 4 months.